Good morning, friends. I am here this morning and we've been talking about healthy foods. So I have an activity for you to do, and then I would love for you to really comment and make sure that you're participating in this. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you some foods, and you are going to decide which ones are healthy and which ones are junk food or a sometimes food. Because we want to have some joy in our life, and sometimes eating fun things brings us joy, but they can only happen sometimes, or they should only happen sometimes. So let me show you our foods that we have. Carolyn is my helper, and she's going to show us what kind of foods we have. So first we have a
string cheese, Jello, banana, Coke.
Let's go a little slower. This is like a pop or a Coke.
Then we have a tomato.
Yep, that's a tomato.
Then a mint.
A peppermint.
We have some cookies.
Cookies.
Pepper.
A pepper.
We have some Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops.
We got some orange.
An orange.
We got some
spinach.
We got some crackers.
Biscuits and crackers.
We've got some
Lay's. So friends, what we're doing with this is we're collecting something called data, and we are measuring and classifying the things that are good for you foods, and then the other one is sometimes foods. So I am going to do this with our food, but I would love to see your classifications at home, and I'm going to show you a way to classify them. A classification means splitting them up into groups so that you can tell the difference in the groups. It's kind of like sorting. So our two groups to sort into are good for you foods and then sometimes foods. So what I'm doing for my classification strategy is I'm grabbing 1 bowl, 2 bowls. And then what I'll do is I'll start saying to myself, is this a good for you food or is this a sometimes food? After I make my decision of if it's good for me or sometimes, I'm gonna put this in, I'm gonna make my decision, then I'll put it in the bowl. This bowl is gonna be my good for me food because cheese gives us protein. Now, we have the rest of these to classify, and I'd love to hear you. So we already did this string cheese, and I said that that's a good for you food because it provides protein. You wouldn't want to only eat cheese, but it's good for you food. Now, Carolyn, what do you think about this one?
This one is a bad for you food and a sometimes food because it's got a lot of caffeine in it.
Yeah, and sugar. Okay, what's next?
A mint. And a mint is a bad for you food.
A sometimes food, right? So we're gonna put that in our sometimes bowl. Now we have
Jello, and Jello is also a bad for you food.
a sometimes food.
Yeah.
Next.
We have a banana, which is a good for you food.
So which bowl does it go in?
It goes in the blue one with the cheese that we already put in there.
Okay. Next.
Next are Fruit Loops.
Mm.
Fruit Loops are good for you. No, they're not good for you, but they taste good, but they're a sometimes food.
So they go in the sometimes bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have
A tomato. Tomato is a good for you food. Almost all vegetables and fruits are good for you foods.
now we have
Cookies.
I love cookies.
But they're a sometimes food.
Okay.
Put those in there. Now we have a pepper. Peppers are good for you foods. Next, an orange. Orange is also a good for you food. These are Triscuits. They are good for you foods.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to eat a ton of them, but they're better than white bread or some other things.
Next, we have some spinach. Spinach spinach is also good for you foods.
It's really good for you food. It's called a superfood.
Have some legs.
Are these your favorite, Carolyn?
Yes. But they are
What kind of food are they?
They're sometimes foods.
Yep. So see, all of our stuff didn't quite fit in our bowl, so we just kind of laid it next to the bowl, and that's okay. And we had more good for you foods. So I want you to. So there's our answer, and now I'd love to see your classifications. One, you guys could try this at home. So parents, you can get together some foods, a variety of foods, and then help facilitate a sorting for your child. This could be really fun, and maybe you could eat part of it.